Okay, so today we're going to be looking at how to find the gradient of a straight line. And the problem is set up like this. We are given 2 points, so I've written the general case out, x1, y1 and x2, y2. And we want to find out the gradient of the straight line that passes through these 2 points. So we don't actually know what the equation is, but we do know the values of 2 different points. And luckily there is a formula for this. So the formula goes like this. We have m is the gradient, this is what we want to try and find out, and the gradient is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So another way you can think about this is the gradient is the change in y divided by the change in x. So we take the 2 y coordinates, we subtract them, and we divide that by the difference of the x coordinates. And it's also important to note that the order really matters here. So if we do y2 minus y1, then we have to do x2 minus x1. We can't just switch them about. So now we're going to look at a few examples of how to calculate this. I'll just write it out again. So the gradient is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's look at finding the gradient between the points 2, 3 and also minus 1 and 12. So if we think on a graph, we're given 2 points. So 2, 3, maybe that's about here, and minus 1, 12, maybe that's about here. So we want to know the gradient of the straight line that passes through these points right here. That's all we want to work out. And we're going to use this formula right here. So the gradient is given by y2. Now it doesn't matter which one you pick first. Let's do this one as x2 and y2. So 12, that's the y component here, minus the y component in the other point. So minus 3. And then we divide this by the x component in the coordinate that's corresponding to 12. So minus 1 subtracted by minus 2. That's the other x coordinate. And then we just have to simplify this. So 12 minus 3, that's 9. Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. So if we simplify this, we get the gradient is equal to minus 3. And that is how steep the line goes down in this case, because it's negative. Let's do another example. We will do 2 and minus 3 as the first point, and 6 and 5 as the second point. So again, we can think about what this looks on a graph, if you prefer thinking about it graphically. So we have this first point, 2 and minus 3, that's going to be somewhere around here, and then 6 and 5, somewhere around here. So we are going to expect a positive gradient, something like this, and we're going to use this formula to find what that is. So m is equal to, let's take y2 as being 5, then y1 is the other y coordinate, so minus 3, and the signs are really important, so we can't change those, and then we're dividing by the change in x. So we have to do first the x coordinate that corresponds to the first y coordinate that we chose. So this is going to be 6. And then we subtract by the other x coordinate, so 2. And then we just simplify this. So we have the double negative turns into a plus. So we have 5 plus 3 on the top, which is just 8. And on the bottom we have 6 minus 2, which is 4. So this simplifies very nicely to 2. And this is indeed positive how we predicted. So this, now we have a numerical value of how steep this line goes upwards. Okay, I want to do one final example, and this one's going to be a bit harder. So we're going to get given the 2 points as 3 and minus 5, and also 6 and a. So a is just a constant, and we don't know what this is. This is what we want to find out. But this time we also get given that the gradient is 4. So m is equal to 4, and we have these 2 points, and from this we need to work out what the constant value of a is. And it's quite simple, we just have to use this formula. So we're going to plug all the numbers in here, then do some rearranging, and hopefully find the value of a. So if we do this, we have 4 from the gradient. This is equal to the change in y divided by the change in x. Now the change in y is going to be a minus the second y coordinate, so minus 5, and then divided by change in x, which is 6 minus 3. And then we can simplify this as a plus 5 divided by 6 minus 3 is just 3. So now to find out the value of a, we just need to solve this simple equation. We're going to do this by multiplying both sides by 3. So we're going to get 12 is equal to a plus 5. And then just subtracting off by 5, we get that a is equal to 7. So this is the answer to this problem. And this is kind of a bit of an inverse problem, so it's just getting you to think creatively about how to use this formula. And that's all you need to know about finding the gradient.